Hello, everyone. GM. I think we're waiting for a few more people to come in. How's everyone doing? God.
Hi, Kay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
I've just
Atos. Is that how you say your name, Atos? Right?
yes, yeah.
Cool. Where are you based?
Our, I'm based in Hong Kong, but I'm currently in Korea.
For Korea Blockchain Week, or
Yeah,
cool. Very cool.
I was just in the midst of the event, and now I'm in Starbucks.
Oh, you're in a Starbucks?
Yeah,
Oh, no, nice. Alright. How long are you in Korea for?
gonna be here for until 10th of September. So there's 1 week left, 1 week and a few days.
Everyone, if you are here early, drop a GM to show us that you're here. You're the first bird, early birds. How's everyone doing? Drop a heart. Thank you, Harry. Leo, where are you?
Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Hello.
Okay. Uh, my microphone work correctly? Well,
Okay.
okay.
Yep. Everyone can hear you. Good. Mm. So just to remind everyone who's here early that we have, $150 for the best three questions, which will be picked at the end. So if you want a chance to win $50, drop a question for us right now, and if you're lucky, we'll pick your question. All right. All right. I think we can start now that everyone's here. Just want to take a few minutes to say thank you for everyone who's here today. And I would love to introduce Atos, the product manager at ZKPass, and our CMO at Holdstation, Leo. Can you guys give a little bit intro about yourself, what you do here, and what we're here to talk about today?
Okay, so I'm gonna make a short introduction first. So I'm Leonardo. I'm a Chief Marketing Officer of Holdstation Wallet, and we are providing the smart contract wallet for future trading. You can do the swap, do the same on any EVM chains, and also do the future trading. So today, aim is mainly for the ZK Pass for user of Holdstation discover how ZK Pass work, and that's all.
Yeah, so my name's Atos. I'm the product manager at ZKPass. Our ZKPass is a sort of a lightweight browser-based protocol for private data and identity verification protocol. That's built on the foundation of MPC and zero technology, and it's on the ETH chain, and it's also so what we do is we act as a independent verifier to verify anything that the verifier wants to prove to third parties, such as clients, identities, credentials, or assets, these sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Wait, the host having a problem. Let me. Yeah.
All right. Super cool. Sorry, it's something with my Twitter, but I'm back now. Anyway, okay. So thank you for introducing yourself. If anyone have questions for these two guys, You can follow them at Twitter. Their handles is on the post right here. You can see. Um, we'll move on to the first section of the AMA, which is exploring the intersection of decentralized identity and DeFi with a focus on privacies. So, guys, we're now in this day and age when we don't even know what kind of information we've given access to other parties, let alone know what kind of footprint and identity we've left online. And I love to explore the idea of how decentralized identity and DeFi, how that marry into privacy. So I think Atos, you'll be the perfect person to ask this. Can you tell a little bit of how you see the future of decentralized identity?
Great question. Um, so when we think of identities, so what do we see? Right? Identities are your name, your nationality, your age, your gender, or transactional records, or even browser history, or social media posts, or even your voice. Right? These are everything that shapes who you are, the digital you, right? Your presence. So not only are these information really large in scale, it's also extremely personal. But in the current Web2 landscape, centralized corporations own all these data, and these data are internally transferred between organizations to generate reports about you, to understand your ins and outs, and then milk the value out of you, right? And also, identities are also used to do KYC, and is uh, to prove that you're you to the organizations, but it's also extremely tedious. So apart from the increasing demand to turning to increasing amounts of projects in the field, I think the future trends can be categorized into a few perspectives. Um, the first one, first of all, I think it, uh, throughout in the future, the enhanced there would be enhanced efficiency and security for zero knowledge systems, because the current zero knowledge generation protocols, namely like Snark and Starks, would take around 20 seconds to generate a proof for blocks, and maybe with like ZK rollups and academic breakthroughs in cryptography and computation, we might see this number potentially reducing. And also because and when we talk about DIDs, right, we're shifting the paradigms of data ownership, and how we monetize our personal data, right? Users can authorize what they want to see, perhaps even monetizing their own data by selling parts of it to the organization. We also have increasing regulatory clarity, because it's for the demands of data protection. When it increases, the governments and businesses would see the value in implementing decentralization to use the data. And it will start to evaluate the security aspects of relevant projects. But yeah, so that's my take on it. But I definitely not covered everything. But I'm also pretty excited to see what the future holds for this field.
Awesome. So you see that, there's going to be enhanced security, reduction of time to verify, and, a shift of paradigm for people when they come to think about, how they monetize their own data, right? And with this decentralized identity being fairly new, what other challenges and opportunities that you see in this space, as it is a growing space? So would love to know what challenges you guys are facing and what opportunities you think are not yet exploited.
Yeah. For challenges, I mean, I just talked about a few, but there's definitely a few challenges, but there's also a clear value in decentralizing these data, um, which is what the concept of decentralized identities are trying to convey. And the revolutionary developments have already been started, and it could be a long way until it's entirely scalable and massively adopted. The way I see it, I think there's a few barriers that the industry as a whole needs to solve before the mass adoption. First of all, it's the interoperability and compatibility of the protocol. First of all, because the common model for identity protocols now require the organizations to issue the credentials to the user, which the user can then send to the verifier for a proof, as a proof. And businesses would have to recognize the value of the proof and actually invest their time and resources to make the integration, which is very hard to scale. We've also seen like other protocols that are using APIs to try to fast track this process. But yes, like it would still take a while before all businesses would take the time and money to do the integration. As well as in terms of efficiency, as I mentioned previously, like the current zero knowledge generation protocols like Snark and Starks would usually take around 20 seconds, which I think, in my opinion, it's pretty long. Um, and seeing in SEO practices, the usual page loading time is around 2 seconds. So usually, meaning that like people would divert their attention to other things after 2 seconds when the page is not loading, and which would I mean like really hinder the user experience of the whole process of proof generation. So I think
Yeah.
these two would be the challenges for to massively adopt zero knowledge technology and also the identity protocols in bridging Web 2 and Web 3 together.
I see, I see. So yeah, I see that a lot with, people being on Web3 usually have a problem with data loading, and it just takes so fucking long to verify a transaction. But with the recent investment from Binance Lab and other VCs, I think it won't be a problem for too long, right?
I think. I mean, for ZKPass, we've our devs are working pretty hard to optimize the time and space efficiency of, of our protocol to shrink. We've actually our protocol, the ZK part of the protocol, we've already shrunk the processing time to around 2 seconds, or I think yeah, about 2 seconds. So I think we've we've solved this, but yeah, other protocols in the market are still around, are still using snarks. So I think yeah, it's gonna take some time before I mean every project would have that time efficiency.
Okay. Sorry, the host is having the problem, so I will add her again.
of the Twitter space. Sorry, guys. All right, we're back on track. Last question on the first segment of decentralized identity with a focus on privacy. Would love to know what kind of technical solution does ZKPass propose?
So yeah, okay. Because I mentioned two problems right now, right?
Question
First one
for
is the
Atos.
interoperability. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I can hear it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, the challenges I just mentioned, one's the interoperability, right? The second one is the efficiency. So I'm gonna address the way we kind of maneuver around solving this problem. First of all, it's the interoperability, right? We only, although we only prove credible sources, our algorithm is capable of proving any data from any website that's based on the HTTPS protocol. So that's one of our main advantages, uh, main differentiators apart from other protocols, is that we can verify everything that's on the Web2. Yeah, that's through the HTTPS protocol, and also so that eliminates the need to have excessive integration from the business side. So yeah, that's one part we use to solve this, and also for efficiency, we benchmarking to like usual SNOT protocols. Our typical ZKP generation process would take around 1.4 seconds and 80 megabytes, which is like 15 times more efficient in speed and 7 times more efficient in memory consumption than a typical Snap PC. So how we've done this, for technical guys out there, we've essentially introduced MPC into TLS to maintain the security of the TLS connection, and then we've implemented a IZK system for proof generation. And it's based on the vector OLE implementation. So what this does is essentially we've increased the memory efficiency and utilization rate for both sides of the verifier and the prover, to make sure that yeah, it's situated in the browser environment perfectly. So that's how we did it. That's yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
A little too loud here.
Okay.
Thank you, Atos. All right. Thank you, everyone. It's actually, I don't know if it's a little bit too loud for everyone. Do you guys, is it a little bit too loud over at Atos side? Maybe it's because probably he's in public right now. But if you guys have any questions, we'll love to see in the comments below. We'll pick 3 questions for you guys. All right, moving on to the second segment, which is privacy in decentralized identity, some of the challenges, innovations, and regulatory perspective. So I would love to explore these topics with you. And Atos, can you tell us how can decentralized identity be used to protect user privacy? Love to know about that.
Well, decentralized identity can be used to protect user privacy by giving users more control over the personal data. So with decentralized identities, users can choose what information they share with who they want. So they can also like revoke access to that information at any time, and this would help prevent data breaches and other privacy violations. So yeah, so by this, you can essentially tell the reveal information about yourself to the world uh, from what you want them to know.
Um, just is there do you Atos, is there a more a place where there's a little bit more privacy? Because I feel like a lot of our listeners cannot hear you very cannot hear you very well because of the background noises. So yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Um.
Is it a little bit better now?
Yeah, I think it's a bit better now. Yeah. It's less noise on the background. So.
Okay. So do you want me to answer the previous questions again?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think um, so as I said, it's
Yep, I think it's better. It's much better now.
okay. So essentially, decentralized identity can enable users
All
to
right. Okay. I will ask another question. I think this one question, it has been asked a lot. What are the regulatory implications of decentralized identity? Do you think is existing out there?
so because the concept of zero knowledge is pretty new, right? It takes a while to educate the market about this field. So this comes with the support of all projects related to zero knowledge, including ZKPass and also Holdstation. While the demand for data protection increases to the point where action is needed to be taken, the government would take notice and evaluate the security and feasibility of these frontier technologies. Yeah, the definition of decentralized identity is constantly evolving and inherently complex. So it's pretty much the same with regulatory implications. Yeah, we're actively looking to public services and see how they can support what we do and essentially tap into more government related services. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are doing a lot with how the government is basically having their perspective on this, as it is constantly changing, and even in Web3 crypto, every day there's something new. So I don't think regulatory is probably like a little bit behind, but they'll catch up. um
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and moving on to the third section of today's AMA, we'll talk about, per usual, we're going to talk a bit about account abstraction, which is the reason you're on Host Station AMA, right? So, account abstraction has attracted massive attention within the community and has found integration into various wallets. Could you provide some insights into how Host Station has implemented account abstraction? And then, apart from Paymaster, what other functionalities can we expect to see integrated into HostStation in the near future? Yeah, just I think Leo, you can speak to this perfectly.
Okay. So thank you for that question. Yeah, I would like to like answer those questions. So, car abstraction is like a term that people always like talking about recently. So, but it's quite vague that everyone didn't really understand it. But I will make it quite simplest way. A car abstraction is just like it's make the user in Web3 is more convenient. It's easy as the C file. It's like it will transform your like experience in using the app the same as the Web3, the same as Web2. Before, like when you use the MetaMask or something, when you need to send the money, you need to like sign many steps. You need to remember your seed phrase. That's the seed phrase like it's like the biggest barrier for the like mass user. So onboard the account abstractions will help the app like onboard the huge mass adoption. Yeah. And for the second questions, you're asking about the paymaster and what is other functionality can you guys expect on host stations. So we currently deploy the paymaster onto our product to help the user to get sponsored gas, or even they can choose to pay gas as any token. Like normally when you're doing the transaction on the chains, you need to have their native token like ETH or BNB or BB chains. But now with the paymaster, we can give user the ability to make the transaction with your USDT or even USDC or any token you have in your wallet. It's more convenience. And our upcoming features is we will deploy the smart contract wallet on our the app that will help you guys to bind the social recovery like phone number, emails, and 2FA. Yeah, you guys can expect on that.
Damn. Okay, I see. I see. All right, you guys moving fast. Last time I speak, there was no paymaster, but here we are. I think that would increase a lot more users at retention, and just attract more users to be on the app, as it is more um I guess seamless in a way that is very similar to Web 2, which a lot of Web 3 has a hard time building to make the experience as smooth as Web 2. But look at us, here we are. We have HostStation to solve all your problems. All right, before we move on um, to the last question, I would like to remind everyone here today that we do have the final section for the three best uh, questions, $150 for three best questions. So if you want to get in right now, you can still go ahead and comment, and we'll move to the final question for Leo. So how do you perceive the connection between ZKPass and HostStation? Is there a way or a possible way to implement ZKPass technology into HostStation? Maybe both of you guys can speak to this actually. Both Atos and Leo.
Yeah, I think this ethos can like have some technical skill to answer this. Like we're also like looking for the further collaboration between host station and ZK Pass that will bring the users how can I say the seamless experience on using the app, but also the privacy. Yeah, for from the ZK Pass side. So ethos can can you like, say something about it?
Hello,
Some
hello.
ideas? Yeah, I can hear.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. The question is, how do you perceive the connection between ZK Pass and HostStation, and is there a way that HostStation can implement ZK Pass technology into their app and their perp decks?
Well, I think Hold Station as a account abstraction wallet, you guys can definitely have some uh, like you guys would have templates that would be in our protocol where we can verify the the attributes that you have on your wallet. Right? It's not because we're able to like verify everything that's on the web browser. So potentially, you guys could like we will have identities that would verify attributes from you guys, and you guys, um, if you have any other um, verification, like if there's any other verification needs, then you guys would be able to use our protocol to verify and to give you give you the proofs and credentials.
Yeah, yeah, totally understand it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree that. So yeah, we will have some like further layer of the privacy like security to the users. So if we have the user like to make people like more safer, yeah, that's great. And we can like have a further talk after this AMA. Thanks a lot, Athos. Yeah. Uh, okay, Kelly, you can moving on.
All right. So here we are, the moment you guys are waiting for. Let me see. Let me pick a few questions from them. All right. Okay. I got the first question from Bullet Linden. This is for Holdstation. Um, with numerous perp dexes currently in the market, how does Holdstation plan to capture user market share? Because if there are no users, it implies low USDC yield, leading to decreased TVL, poor liquidity, and subsequently reduced user interest. In my opinion. So yeah, Leo, you can take this question away.
Okay, so thank you for that question. That's really interesting questions. So like first of all, you can compare the size of the centralized like volume on the futures like with the decentralized volume. So it's quite have a big gap like with the decentralized volume on futures it's just like having the like 2 to 3% compared to the centralized. So like this will have the huge space for us to grow, and we offer the users like many unique selling points for user like a abstraction apply in our trading space, and we help user to getting more securities, give them the abilities to like actually hold their money. Yeah, and then we'll like kind of like not letting having the second FTX problem. Yeah, and that is how can we like doing it. And yeah, furthermore, so we will like having as we mentioned before, we have like 50% of the token allocations for the community incentive. So that is what is our doing. Like we will provide more the how you say the price to the communities to incentive them to like building up more up and attractive the volume. Yeah, that is how we do it.
We also have a very interesting and very attractive ambassador program, right? Besides,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure. If anyone who's interested, becoming host station ambassador, feel free to DM, slide into their DMs. Um, all right, that's the first question. Moving on. From I think this is for ZKPass, I think. From Brawley. Can I ask about ZKPass privacy preserving works? How to ensure sensitive personal information can't access or gather any user data? Hmm.
So for this, we utilize a MPC. We use MPC to separate the the HTTP response from the web server into two stacks. So the node would not have any access to the information of the website's content other than the things that are required to prove uh, to generate the proof. So this is the way we. So this is done through a few different steps. So because we're minting based off of a minting template, so in the template, we would have a relative location of the HTTP response that would be then sent to the node, where the node would process the information and use the information to generate a proof. So yeah, so the other information wouldn't be processed by the node.
Thank you, Atos. Excellent answer. All right. Final question before we wrap this up. Okay, from Jack Newman. What sets ZKPass approach to zero knowledge proofs apart from other systems like ZK Snark and ZK Stark? How does the use of vector oblivious linear evaluation (VOL) address the challenges of circuit size and memory space within browser environments? Very technical question.
Okay. So when you see other identity protocols, what they've done is usually they would, for example, if you want to prove uh, your Binance account, the balance of the Binance account, you would have to provide the API key, right? But for ZK you wouldn't have to do that because we're all browser based and we don't take any API keys. We just direct you to the credible source, which is maybe Binance, the account balance page of the Binance of Binance, and we would extract the balance from the web page and use that to generate the proof. So we don't need API. So that's one of the difference. The second difference is between the speed. So as you mentioned, we use a vector OLE based. So we're vector OLE based ICK. So with ICK, right, we consume less memory. So which in turn would reduce the risk of um, uh, so it would reduce the risk of the browser consuming too much memory and crashing, and also it it means that we use less memory. The maximum memory would be less, so we use memory more efficiently. And secondly, the speed of the generation is much quicker. So as contrary to like a 20-second generation speed, we shrunk the processing speed down to 2 seconds. Um, so yeah, it's much quicker.
Awesome. That's very interesting. Um,
Oh, and also one thing to add,
yeah.
since vector OLE uses so it's a linear protocol, linear evaluation. So the gates for each circuit would be able to be processed in parallel. So, which in turn is essentially how we've made it much quicker. But there are also other optimization techniques that we've used. But yeah, if you want to know more, you can read our technical white paper or like ping me in Twitter and you could
For sure.
yeah. So
Yeah. So wait, does that mean that you guys are processing information parallelly, right? Like, so it's all being processed at the same time instead of, one at the other.
not really. It's the gates, the wires and the gates of the commitments that are processed parallelly. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not the uh, proof itself, but the process of the proof is generated in parallel. So it's much quicker proof generation.
Mm,
Yeah.
got it. Got it. All right. Thank you, guys. I think that's a wrap for our AMA today. Everyone deserve a clap. All right. Thank you, ATOS, for joining today's AMA. Thank you, Leo, for representing Host Station. It was a very interesting talk to learn a lot more about privacy and decentralized identity. This is a very new segment to the whole Web3 thing. Thank you, Leo, on explaining account abstraction and the updates that HostStation has been having for the past few months, and everyone. And thank you everyone who's tuned in today. If you guys are the winner for the top 3 questions, please DM HostStation right now to claim your prize. And to everyone else, we'll see you again next time. This is your host, Kelly, and thank you, GM, and thank you very much. Atos and Leo, you guys want to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah, goodbye.
yeah, goodbye.
Very nice meeting you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have fun in Korea Blockchain Week. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks.
Okay.